Did you know that you can keep your Windows system up to date and help protect it from hackers by simply going to windowsupdate.com? When you go there, click on the Scan for Updates and let it take a second to find all the updates that are available. You want to make sure you install any critical updates and service packs, and if there are any recommended updates. Now, all you do to install these things is simply click on the Review and Install. It'll bring you up a whole list of all the things and say Install Now. Another thing, too, is after you install updates, it'll ask you to reboot. Go back to the Windows Update site and look again, because a lot of times it can't install everything in one run. You have to do it 2 or 3 times. But if you're doing it on a regular basis, you got to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you should be doing that about once a month. So that's a great tip for keeping your vulnerabilities closed so that these hackers can't get into your system. So once a month, windowsupdate.com. Check it out. Now, before we shut the show down, let's answer some viewer emails and see if we can't help a few more people that are having computer problems. Let's see here. We have Marge, who has a problem. She says, I've been getting a lot of mail undeliverable messages for email that I just haven't sent. Is there something I'm doing wrong here? Or what should I be doing? Or what's going on here?
Well, most likely what's going on here is that somebody, and maybe Marge, maybe somebody else, has a virus or a worm, and they've infected their system. If she has, what she'd first want to do is download the latest antivirus updates for her antivirus program. We're going to assume she's running something here, and make sure that she doesn't have anything there. Now, if she comes up with no viruses in her system, has done a full check, then most likely it's somebody else that's infected that has her in the address book, and there's really no way to know who's sending that out, but it's being sent and showing her address as the return, and it's not real.
Yeah, and I think the key here is it says that for email that I have not sent, so she's looked to see I didn't send that message. So that is definitely a signature that somebody got infected with a worm and is sending messages that makes it look like it's coming from your machine, but it's actually not. So check your antivirus software, run the Windows update that we just suggested, and that's about all you can do, and the rest of it's probably somebody else that's actually got your email address stuck in there as the return address. So don't sweat there, Marge, if you're clean. All right, Alex wants to know, what should I use to make an exact copy of a laptop hard drive? He just wants to make an exact copy from the laptop to another hard drive.
Well, the kind of hard drive it is doesn't really matter, laptop or not a big deal. What you can't do is make a copy of that thing from within Windows, because all the things that Windows is using, it isn't going to be able to copy at the time. So what you'd want to use is a third-party utility. What we like best is a program called Ghost from Symantec, and you can go to Symantec.com and download the program. But what it basically does is it makes a mirror image, an exact duplicate of the drive, and it does it from outside of Windows, and it does a real good job. It's a fairly inexpensive program, very, very simple to use. And
it's what all the pros use, and we've got a link to that on our website, so check that out, Alex. Carol writes, I always seem to get these scripting errors, even though I haven't done anything. What gives here? Why am I getting these scripting errors?
Scripting errors are probably because your Internet Explorer is not configured properly. If you come down and take a look at what we got going on here, we're going to go down and show you how to fix that.
Right. If you go to Tools and then Internet Options, and then click on the Advanced tab all the way to the right. About 5 or 6 items down, you'll see there's 2 options in there. One says Disable Script Debugging. Make sure there is a check mark there that tells it to disable the debugging portion of the scripting. The second is Display a Notification. Make sure that is not checked, so then you won't get those irritating messages every time you run across a poorly coded website. And that's really what's happening there. You're running into a website where their scripting is not quite right, and your browser is set up to try to figure it out. And that's really a diagnostic tool more for web developers. Turn that stuff off. It's just a big pain. It's that simple.
Again, disable script debugging by placing a checkbox to the left of it, and disable or don't display a notification about every script error by unchecking the box that's there. Click Apply and OK, and those errors should go right away.
All right, here's one that we got from Karen. I have a 17-inch monitor that looks great, but my eyes aren't the greatest, so I have problems reading certain websites. Is there anything I can do about that as far as the new monitor goes? I would imagine she's asking. Probably one of the easiest things to do is just take over control of that website's fonts.
That's right. If websites are specifically the problem you're having as far as font size, then you can go again to the system here. We're going to click in Internet Explorer on Tools.
Actually, View.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. On View.
Wrong tip.
Text size. And we're going to change instead from medium to either larger or largest. And now what happens, watch what happens back in the background there.
Bada bing!
Increases the font size of all the things you see on the browser. Now there are some sites you go to, if they've locked down the font size, so you won't be able to do that everywhere, but that's a basic tip that should get you through in most cases.
Right. Another thing that you can do is sometimes you can change what's called the screen resolution of your computer. You'll see it's 640 by 480, 800 by 600, 1024 by 768. These are all numbers that you're going to have in there. You can actually go to the lower resolutions, and everything gets a lot bigger on that screen. So
you want to bring up your display properties by right-clicking on the desktop.
Right, you can do that.
Going to Properties and clicking on the Settings tab. There you'll find the screen resolution. It's a little slider bar. You basically slide it to where you want it. To the left is going to make things appear bigger and less on the screen, and to the right is smaller and the opposite. So
that changes it all.
Very simple.
Check that out.
If you missed any part of today's show, calm down, don't panic. All the resources are available for email etiquette, fighting pop-up ads, testing the speed of your internet connection, and tips on how to get ScanDisk and defrag to run properly. They're all posted at datadoctors.com/TV.
It's all good there, and no pop-ups. Hey, we hope you found some part of today's show helpful, and don't forget, we're here for you. I'm Ken Colburn.
And I'm Brandon Disney, reminding you, if it ain't broke,
don't fix it, dude!
See you next time on TechNoPhobia.